Cricbuzz Live on a day when you saw the glory of Indian batsmanship, but you also admired 200s, but you admired them for different reasons. You looked at Rohit Sharma and you went, wow. And you looked at Ambati Rayudu and said, you never write off this man. He's always standing there. He's always challenging you for a position. And what, if anything, he scored it even quicker than Rohit Sharma. I'm looking at the run rates on this Cricbuzz app. 118 Rohit Sharma's strike rate, and Ambati Rayudu 123. It was quite an innings, 377 from 50 runs. The only people who had a strike rate of less than 100 had a strike rate of 95. So it tells you just how much bat has dominated ball. Shikhar Dhawan 38 of 40 balls. Even Dhoni came in with a little cameo at the end. Kedar Jadhav at 16 from 7, and the bowlers were on a hiding to nothing. We said right at the start this was a very good surface to bat on. Right, two different hundreds. Which did you enjoy more, Rohit Sharma, Ambati Rayudu?
Well, Rohit Sharma is someone who you always enjoy.
Yes.
It just, he makes batting look very easy when he gets those runs, and that's the joy of watching Rohit Sharma bat. Like, it's like hot knife going through butter. That's just the smoothness of his innings, and the shot making has always been like that. So it is always Rohit has given a lot of joy to us, seeing him how he approaches his innings, and the strike rate keeps going up and up with every 50. So that's something which always stand out when Rohit bats. And Ambati Rayudu, I think he's really taking this confidence, and the second innings at international career, he values it more, and he's got that clarity of thought as well in terms of how he is building his innings these days, so which is a great asset. And if he's coming up with these kind of performances consistently, the middle order woos which we are talking about, will be dealt nicely.
Ajay, we're all sitting and watching the game, and your first reaction was Rohit can get 200 here. We didn't say Rohit can get 200 here. We said, yeah, Rohit can get 200 here. It just tells you how you look at the second half of Rohit Sharma's inning. You just assume he can get those.
I mean, he's done it a few times.
Yeah, he's done it 3 times.
He's done it 3 times, and he's gotten past 150 many times.
7 times. No one in the history of the game has gone past 150 as often as Rohit Sharma has.
And that's him. And so the numbers or the past makes us believe that can happen. And he's gone on to do that. And today was one occasion. I mean, he'd be upset. He'd be throwing his bat around thinking he's missed out on another 100. But what a knock.
But he had his good luck charm in the stands.
He had to bring her out. She's been stuck at home, but he brings her out, and here we are. The 2 guys who are batting, it's almost like a millionaire batting with Rohit Sharma. And with Ambati Rayudu, you got to say he's a survivor.
There's so much to admire about him, because no one takes him, and he's always there. He's chipping in. You ask him to open the batting in the IPL, he'll go and open the batting. You tell him to come and finish at number 6, he'll come and finish at number 6.
He's a survivor. I mean, whatever you give him, he makes the most of it. And today, the pace at which he batted is actually better than Rohit. And he may not look that flamboyant, but he's as effective as anybody else that's around. Not just here. We've seen him over the years with IPL. Last year was a great year at Chennai, where he batted open, he batted in the middle order. So he's a man for all seasons, and this is a man that we've left out from 2015. I keep going back. Somebody made a call at 2015. This man won't be around at 2019. Let's leave him. So people who make calls are not around, but the players are still around.
You never say never. Never say never about players, because you don't know when it all turns around. 101 for 2 when Ambati Rayudu came into bat and took the score to 313. As you said, what he said, like a knife through. He enjoyed that line. He was looking at you.
I was looking at
Knife through butter.
I'm learning every day alongside Zach. Zach, wherever you go, take me along.
Which shot stood out for you, with Rohit especially? I mean, was it the big hit straight down the ground? Was it some of the back foot shots? How easily he was playing the back foot shots?
The shots which he was playing today through the square of the wicket, on a square leg, that's something which really stood out for me, because even in replays you would see that how he was adjusting his body. There's not many batsmen can do that, and to play that kind of shot to create that kind of room when there is hardly any space to play that shot and to play it to perfection was something which was the highlight of his innings today. And if you look at his wagon wheel as well, it's something which will tell you a story that he's played square of the wicket, and that's something which again is suggestive of the fact that how good the wicket is. You know, there is a good carry in the wicket which batsman can take advantage of, and you wouldn't see Rohit Sharma playing today a lot straight. You know, he's not taken many singles or boundaries through that region. You know, it's all square of the wicket today, and that's something which has been highlight of his innings today.
You know, in the great days of Viv Richards, when Viv Richards was wow, and some of you younger guys will be saying, there they go, no, Viv Richards was great across generations. There was another guy who was batting so well, but everybody talked about Viv Richards, and that was Gordon Greenidge.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about Virat Kohli, and yet you look at the numbers, and Rohit Sharma is not too far behind.
Absolutely. And I think even in that era, I mean, a lot of people who played with both of them, we only watch them. And I'm one of those fans like today, and we only look at Rohit. But people who played said actually Gordon Greenidge probably hit the ball harder than him.
Then Viv.
The only reason why these perceptions end up, I feel, is because the guy at the end of the innings or finishing the game off is in today's world is mostly Virat Kohli, and in those days it was Viv Richards who was there at the end. Gordon Greenidge would probably not finish that innings, and that's the similarity that I see at this moment.
You get these little turning points in your life. For Rohit Sharma, the turning point came in 2013 when he was asked to open the batting. I think it was MS asked him to open the batting, and in limited overs, if someone asks you to open the batting, you quickly put a tape on the captain's mouth saying, don't change your mind, this is what I want to do. Now, if you look at numbers from 2013 onwards, you'll realize that it's a comparison worth making. Look, it's 800 runs, the difference between the two, and Rohit has played 14 innings less.
Yeah.
So Virat has finished a lot of games, so the average will be higher. Yeah. The strike rate is just difference of just 4.
The consistency is the only thing that you see a little different with those hundreds, because Rohit Sharma gets those big hundreds, so at the average and total number of runs, they probably look similar. But 25 and 19, that's a small gap. With 16 games, you'd probably give him another 300-400. So the strike not just the strike rate on the ground, but for us who watch and viewers, the impact is that much more. So 25 times he's got that 100, and when he hasn't got 100, he'll come back many a times chasing not out. And I'm a firm believer that whether it's the fans, whether it's all of us who's watching cricket, it's the moments and those impacts that stay in your mind much longer. Because I doubt that the biggest fan of Virat Kohli would be able to list you those 29 games where he scored those hundreds. But Rohit Sharma's those 3 impacts stays in you. You'll remember those things. So not much different to pick between them. Styles are totally different. One is a lazy, elegant man, takes it easy. When he has his day, then he makes the most of it. The other man is a hard-working man, Virat Kohli. I mean, he would, no matter what kind of wicket, what kind of total, he goes about doing his business exactly the same way, and he's working hard at it. He doesn't want to get out. He would not give you, today is a rare day he's got out, but even there, look at it. It's not him lazily playing. I can remember Rohit getting out first game, soft dismissal as you call it. No soft dismissals with Virat Kohli, and loads of soft dismissals with Rohit Sharma. Imagine if he can get rid of those, where he would be.
What was your take on those numbers?
I think my take was from the team's point of view. You know, you look at the kind of numbers which these two have built, and it's always going to have a straight reflection on the percentage of win. And you look at the team's success, the opening stand which we talk about, when you have top 3 out of that top 3 to have such numbers, the staggering numbers which we just witnessed. I think, you know, it's always going to reflect on the team's winning matches. And that,
one thing I'd like to see, maybe we'll put that up at the end of the day at some point, is performances in knockout games. Maybe that will be an indicator of who's scoring the key runs. But over a career, 120 games, 106 games, you're only talking since Jan 2013, by the way, up there. One thing that Rohit Sharma does when he is batting is he pulls all the attention towards himself. You want to watch Rohit Sharma bat, and that's why I thought Raidu's innings was very interesting today, because while everybody was watching Rohit Sharma, he got 180 balls.
Yeah, he quietly went about doing his business. And
there isn't one shot that he plays, right, with Rohit. So wow, not one shot, and yet 100 from 80 balls.
Because he's a survivor, he has to find a way. He doesn't have the opportunity, or at least at the moment, to play every inning the way he wants. Whatever opportunity that he gets. So, he's been around for a long time, so he picks the bowlers, he picks the kind of wicket that he can play shots on. Very early in this innings today, he got after the spinners and hit couple of sixes there. He has the knack of putting it over the covers, placing the ball. I think he places the ball as well as any one of these guys around, whereas others probably do it with more grace and style. But for me, Ambati Rayudu is probably a more important player, and he is a man who's going to get you out of trouble many more times, and that's why that number 4, 5, 6, anywhere he can bat. And I firmly believe there's no number that you should have beyond 3, because the situations change when you walk in. And this man is good enough to walk in at 25 for 2. He's good enough to walk in at 225 for 2 and still do the job that's required.
There are people on message boards saying this is the yellow effect. Ambati Rayudu started playing in yellow and see how his fortunes turned.
Well, clearly it has been, and one thing which stands out with him is the timing is improved. I think I've never seen Ambati Rayudu playing those shots over covers, hitting it for sixes. He would hit for boundaries, but never for sixes. That one thing has changed. His six hitting ability has gone up. Which was not the case earlier. He was always known to be a batsman who is always going to focus on collecting those singles and doubles and probably hurt you in terms of boundaries, not in terms of sixes. But that is a new addition which we've seen over the last 1 year or so.
The pace that he's got better over the years. One thing that I've noticed is that singles and double, he's not a man who takes 6 singles, 7 singles. So if there is a high scoring game, he's at more at comfort, because then those boundaries that is not natural to him can also come in. You can be away from the ball and still manage to hit that. On those low scoring games is where he's not, the strike rate doesn't stay the same.
I'll throw you one of your favorite expressions. You always say never, right? You never say never.
No, never.
Is number 4 sealed yet, or you'll say that the day before the World Cup starts?
No, I like I said, I'm a firm believer there is no number that you can go by, because numbers are for us where we are outside. It's the situation of the game. There could be a day your most sealed player, say whoever it is, at the moment we'll say for Ambati Rayudu, you may be a player who struggles against just one bowler, and that guy is in that opposition that day, and you are in a World Cup semi-final. A smart captain and a coach would make sure, even if it's a most solid player, not to send him in there.
So Dhoni going ahead of UV when Murali was bowling, for example.
So things like that. So you got to be flexible. This is a side. This is not individual. It makes no difference to the team itself, what number you go in. At the end, if you can get past that line, and that's all that the captain and the coach should be thinking when you get to the knockouts. At the moment, they should be thinking of building a side, not getting numbers right for how they've been going about. You lose, you change, you win, you do different things.
Between them, Dhoni and Jadhav got 39 of 22, but it was an easy finish, so you can't read too much into those numbers. What about the bowlers? They were all expensive. Only one bowler went under 6-0, as you'd imagine with a total like that. Was the track that difficult to bowl on, or did the batsmen just dominate? Did they not bowl well? I mean,
see, the outfield is also very fast.
Electric.
Yeah. So that's something which doesn't help as a bowler as well. If you look at the boundaries hit today, the numbers will surely be on the higher side. But I think Kemar Roach was good today. He looked in control. The numbers will not suggest of that, but he took that crucial wicket of Virat Kohli, which created that opportunity. Yes, after that Rayudu did play a good knock, which got Indian team in such a strong position at the halfway mark. But all in all, as a bowler, you couldn't have done much.
40 boundaries and 10 sixes, right? That's 220 runs in what, 50 balls?
That's the difference from say 280 to 360 games. The number of singles would be the same, the dots would be the same. It's the boundaries that take that total from one stage to another, and it's that boundaries that don't get you wickets. So as a bowler, you are always defending. This kind of wicket is very simple. We might see this at the second innings as well. On a true wicket, this is a true wicket where there's enough bounce, there's enough, there's spin also if you can flight it and bounce it. There won't be any 5 single wala game. When you do that, then you're in trouble. Either you're getting people out or you're getting smashed. There'll be no midway in this game. And that's what we've seen in the first innings. As a bowler, you'd either be in dominating position where the batsman is struggling, you get him out, or the batsman is always going to rule the roost.
Right now you're chasing 378. Right? Can you build towards 378, or do you just have to go for it right away?
You will still take time at the beginning. You know, and I'm saying that because in the evening at the toss also you heard it from Virat that it will be some kind of help around for bowlers. You know, so you would still want to get your eye in. There's still enough time, and I think, you know, the stat which you're just mentioning, 50 balls have been taken to score those 200 runs is something which as a batting group you should keep in mind. So it's just about seeing that phase off. You know, you can keep it shorter, like, you know, maybe 3 overs, 4 overs, but you have to be cautious in the beginning. Once that phase is off, I think, you know, it's a kind of wicket, you know, where you can actually put pressure on bowlers, but you can put pressure on bowlers only if you have wickets in hand. So that's something which Windies will have to keep in mind.
It could go two ways, couldn't it? You keep wickets in hand. I mean, anyone who comes even close to a 370 run chase means you've really batted well. But you sometimes run the risk of going for it and getting 180 all out.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be 100 for 1. That's an ideal platform that you'd want. It's just as Zach said, I think it's that first couple of overs you'll see a lot more swing from Bhuvaneshwar than we've seen in the evening in Bombay that would do. So run rate shouldn't be a problem. I see it, I mean 370 I'm talking about, but if they get past that first 10-15 overs with say 1 wicket, you could lose 1 here or there. Because it is impossible on this wicket and this ground to keep somebody, you know, checked at run rate, but you can get people out. So if you don't get into that situation where you start believing that, oh, you're so far behind, you won't be so far behind. That's for sure. It will be always wickets that will keep West Indies.
See how our mindset also has changed. Yeah. We are talking of 378 and we are saying that the run rate may not be an issue. See how mindset has changed.
You look at the first match.
Yeah.
You know,
320, yeah.
320 was scored in 42 overs. So the wicket was good, and I think today's wicket is a bit similar to that. So if the ball doesn't swing around in the evening, then it will be an even game. And if it's even game, so far Windies have been putting a good show out there, and in terms of scoring those 300 runs, so you would expect that it won't be an easy ride for the bowlers as well. They'll have to create situations. You know, they'll have to pick up those wickets, and one thing for sure, so far whatever we've seen in the series, Windies batsmen will take chances. You know, they're not going to slow down at any stage. Once again, we'll see Shai Hope playing that anchor role, but his strike rate is also going up with every innings. Yeah. So that's something, you know, which we'll have to see. I feel that Powell has a good opportunity today because he's been looking good. So this is a great opportunity for him to go that a notch or two higher in terms of announcing his arrival here in India.
Okay, we'll wait and see. India still favourites, but you expect a good run chase.
Oh, if it's good run chase, then they'll probably knock you off. I expect West Indies to. I shouldn't say it. I keep saying it, and then it ends up being just the other way. Because one thing's for sure, there is not going to be that they're going to be left behind because they were 20 runs short. So if you say they had wickets in hand.
So if you say whatever we say is going to happen the other way, so you can say what you want, we'll just assume the other, right?
Okay, so let's say India.
So we have in the studio right now one guy who doesn't tweet because it goes the other way, and one guy doesn't say anything because it might go other way around.
With a straight face, you can see why Zach is a good bowler, because with a straight face he talks at you. Yeah, it's a story that's been going on.
Kuldeep Yadav's first 4 overs will be very interesting. I am looking at that.
They'll go for
they'll go for 35 if it goes West Indies.
Could be 2 for 35.
Or he'll be it won't be. Or he'll be start wrapping it up, because this is a wicket that has extra bounce. So either it goes further or it goes higher. So we'll have to wait and see where it goes. I'm banking that it'll go higher.
Okay, we'll wait and see. It reminds me of that one shot of Rohit Sharma early on that went higher than any other, but also went 100 meters long. We'll wait and see. It should be a good session because this West Indies side has been quite impressive. 378 to get. We'll see how they go about it. We'll join you at the end of the 15th over for Uber Presents Cricbuzz Combox.